If you asked me what's the biggest thing that Relogic added in the 1.4.4 update, my answer would have to be the Shimmer. If you didn't know, it's a liquid that can be found in its own mini-biome and has a variety of uses, such as uncrafting items, transmuting NPCs, and soft-locking your world, apparently. Interestingly, besides adding a few new recipes, not a lot has really been going on with the Shimmer in the modding scene, which is understandable, I guess. After all, modders have spent years building up content around the other aspects of the game, and I can see why they wouldn't want to go out of their way to add new content to this rather complicated feature that just got added. However, this situation seems to give me a bit of an advantage. You see, my mod is still very early in development. It doesn't have any huge projects bogging it down that I feel obligated to work on. Right now, in fact, I'm simply going through the process of adding random bosses to random biomes. With that in mind, it seems only fitting that I should leave my mark on this new feature by giving it its very own boss. And, spoiler alert, I already did. The basic idea is for this boss to serve as a sort of guardian for the Shimmer. Every time you enter the Ether biome, as it's called, the boss will immediately spawn and start attacking you. This will keep happening until you've killed it at least once, in which case it'll stop spawning in your world altogether. This boss is definitely not my best work per se, but I can still say with confidence that it's a very good boss with no major flaws to my knowledge. This will also be the mod's very first worm boss, and seeing how many terrible worm bosses there are out there, I think I did a pretty good job. Anyway, this would normally be the part where I do an in-depth lecture about the boss's behaviors and abilities, but to be honest, I think this one is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just gonna show you an unedited video of the fight. Then maybe I'll come back and tell you anything that I didn't think was obvious. Now you've seen the fight, so here are a few things you might not have guessed. If at any point during the fight you leave the Aether biome, the boss will immediately despawn. The boss doesn't deal contact damage when it's transparent, and it does deal contact damage when it isn't transparent. And in the attack where it shoots stars at you at random intervals, if the stars touch the shimmer, they'll turn into purple stars and shoot at you a second time. Before you go, there's one more thing I'd like to show you. The Ether Dragon, of course, is gonna need some unique loot, and although I haven't made all of it yet, I have made its expert mode drop. The item is called the Endless Shimmer Potion. As you might have gathered from the name, it's an infinitely reusable potion that gives you the shimmer buff, allowing you to phase through blocks on command. This might break the game, and it might be completely useless. I don't know, but I do know that it makes for a pretty decent expert mode reward. And with that being said, this video is over now. I know I didn't give this boss my highest praise, but like all my bosses, it took a lot of passion and effort to make, so if you could reimburse me by liking and subscribing, I would appreciate it. Oh yeah, and go watch my other videos. Thank you, goodbye.